Hey everybody, this is Game Show Guru, aka Gem Queen. This is part 2 of the abuse that I'm going to talk about. More nightmares for you people to understand. I'll never forget this. May 17th, 1992. The day my mom took me to a supermarket and she never told me what was going to happen. So I'm 8 years old, and you know when you're overweight in those shopping carts, you know where you have to be at a specific weight and a specific height in order to be on those things? Well, my mom actually jammed me in there where my legs actually were pressing on, where the metal bars were pressing onto my legs. Well, that wasn't the worst part. When we got down by where the meat section was, you know, down by the butcher shop, or the butcher section of the supermarket, she actually went into the back and had sex with one of the workers while I sat near the coffee machine for over an hour. The bars were so pressing onto my legs as hard as possible where I lost circulation in my legs. I couldn't move. I was totally jammed in there so tight. I couldn't get out. I couldn't even get myself out. I tried to lunge myself as much as possible. I was moving around. I was screaming. I was yelling. I was yelling in pain and everything. One of the ladies from the checkout called the police and the EMTs. They had to get the fire department down here to weld the shopping cart because I couldn't move. They couldn't amputate my legs, so the only option they had to do was weld the shopping cart off my legs. I was put in a gurney and was sent to the hospital until I got the circulation back into my legs. Are you kidding me? And you know what it was worth? Well, my mom was having sex with one of the workers, so we'd get free groceries for the week. Yeah, wrap your head around that, folks. That's just wrong. It's crazy that how a parent could do this to their child and not seem to care. When I was around doctors, I felt like I was a guinea pig. With all the pills that I've consumed after all those years, and I'll tell you those meds. I was on Depakote, Seroquel, Paxil, antihistamine, Halidol, Cogentin, and Zyprexa. These are all antipsychotic, anti-anxieties, and antidepressant meds. She wanted me to become completely controlled, like a slave, like a zombie slave. That's how I felt for 17 years of my life, being on these meds since I was 4 years old until my mom died. Why? Just seriously, why? I could have been on Depakote and I would have been just fine. Putting them at dangerously high dosages 3 times a day. Do you know how many doctors out here in this day could have said I could have died before I hit my teenage years? When we moved to Dallas in 1995, I never felt safe. I wanted to go as far away from my mom as possible. I've ran away a lot of times, crying, shaking, terrified. I still have nightmares. 20 years that I had to keep my eyes open when I had to sleep. Do you know how hard it is to actually sleep with your eyes open for 20 years? Trust me, it's not easy. Keeping an eye on how your mom's going to come into your room and make love to you when you're a little child. When my sister came into the picture in 1997 when we moved to Syracuse, that was my worst nightmare. My mom literally has shaked her to shut her up when she was crying, teething, and everything else. I have never been so shocked and terrified as a teenager. My sister has semi-brain damage. She's still normal in a way, but there's some things you can't force her to do. When I was 13 years old, I was disowned by both my mom and my stepdad. My mom had enough. She wanted nothing to do with me. She just wanted her daughter. Now believe me, folks, I have nothing against my sister. I love her to death. We still communicate here and there. I've been to her birthdays. I've been there for Christmas. I've been there for Thanksgiving. But after that, we don't really talk. After her father died, she wanted nothing to do with me. I don't know why. I don't want to know, and I don't care. We haven't talked since he passed away. He passed away 5 years later after my mom died. And he died from lung cancer. He smoked like a freight train. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't want to know either. I hated him too. I mean, he never gave me a chance and he pushed me away. He never wanted a son. I don't know why. I did nothing to piss him off. I tried to do things that he liked to do, and and I kind of felt like such an idiot for it. I tried everything to get on his good side, but it felt like I had to be a kiss up or a smartass to be in his possession, and that didn't work. It's like when you're at a race, where mostly they're trying to dangle the flag, trying to get you to run, and try to grab it, and it's getting farther and farther and farther. That's how it felt for 7 years. His parents were freaking nightmares. The in-laws is what I call them. These guys were 80 times worse than my mom, verbally. He never cared. He took their side more than mine. It's just all the years. So when I was living in Syracuse, I felt like I had no defense. I was taken away from my hometown in Seattle because of my mom's love life. My stepdad was priority number one to her, while I was just shoved there like baggage. I hate him. I hated him. I still do. We fought it out I don't know how many times for those 7 years. I had to be forced into his religion. I was forced to do many things that I couldn't handle as a child. or as a teen. Couldn't handle it, and I refused. He never helped me with my homework. He never cared. He never put me under insurance, which is, I would consider illegal. I don't know if it is anymore. It's just, he never gave me a chance. I don't know why he hated me. I don't want to know, and I don't care. He died 5 years ago, and I don't care. And I don't friggin' care. My sister does, but I don't. And he died from lung cancer. It's so hard to, when I had to live a childhood. I never had what I would consider a real normal life. Ever since my mom died, I lived that normal life very slowly. I got off the meds. I went to some therapists, to real therapists that actually knew what they were doing. I sat down in groups and programs, and everybody took my side over everybody else. And I thanked them for that. But all I'm trying to say is just everything that my parents did was never the way I was expecting life to be. I hate my mom, I hate my stepmom, I hate my dad, and I hate my stepdad. And all four of them are dead. Either from, their stupidity or cancers. And I don't care. I don't. I may be heartless, but you know what? For all the suffering they put me through, I don't really care. I have no heart for them anymore, for what they have done to me. And I'm tired of the rest of the world giving me the middle finger because of it. Well, these videos are going to prove that what my parents did and what my step-parents did was wrong. To do this to their child and get away with it like it was murder. If you want to support me on this, because I've supported everybody who has been abused in life. I've heard every story that you could name. I've seen it all with my own two eyes. I've suffered it with my own two eyes. And I never want to see it again. I've heard enough. I've seen enough. If you want to take my side, I thank you. If you don't, well, I'm not going to hear it, because I don't want to hear those bullshit lines saying that my mom did the right thing to beat the crap out of me, abuse me, traumatize me, to know that this won't happen when you get older. Yeah, I could have done that when I was about 7 years old. I didn't need a mother to do this to me after all these years. It could have took me 1 year to see that happen. I am tired of having this anchor shackled onto me. I want the world to see my side of the story. I want people to see how much hell that I went through. I want the rest of the world to support this. Don't think of me as this bad guy or whiner or complainer, because I'm not. This is 11 years, folks, 11 years that I've kept my mouth shut. And now I want to express it as much as possible. Please, I beg of you all, please support these videos. I want people to understand what I went through growing up. Okay? Thank you. I want to stop right here. I'll do part 3 sometime next week, okay? I thank you all for respecting this. Thank you all.